Hi guys, my name is Yeva and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to validate yourself and how to stop seeking external validation. On this YouTube channel you learn a lot about mindset coaching, manifestation, etc. I'm a mindset coach for women, and if you're new to this channel and you like this video or you're gonna enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe as well. I've written down about 5 main pointers on why people should stop seeking external validation and why that is dangerous for your own mental health. So without further ado, let's jump into the first point. The first point that I have to make is that it's okay to get other people's opinion about something that you are not sure about in your life, for example, but you should make most of your own decisions, especially if they're really important life decisions. You are the person that makes the decision at the very end. If you ask someone, oh, what do you think of this color for the living room? And you ask someone who really does have experience with colors or wallpaper or whatever, that's great information to receive, right? At the end of the day, you still do make your own decision. But if you ask something like, do you think I should have kids? Or do you think I would be a good mother? Or do you think I should buy a new house? Those are very, very big decisions, and you can't base that decision on one person's opinion. And some people do that because that one person might be their parent that is telling them to buy a house, even though they might not financially be ready for it. So a lot of people let themselves be influenced by family members, by important people in their life, and end up making the wrong decision or a decision that they will long-term not be happy with. So you can always get opinions, but you have to learn and be confident in making your own decision at the end, even if that decision might not be something that another person would make. So even if someone is against what you are doing, you should not need their validation in order to feel good about your decision. Because if you're going to be basing your decisions on the happiness of other people or the approval of other people, you're going to be making decisions that maybe you essentially don't want for your own life in order to make other people happy. Tip number 2 is ask yourself why you might be seeking so much validation from other people. Maybe you did not get approval and validation as a child. Maybe no one told you that you did a good job when you got a good grade. Maybe no one approved of what you wanted to do as a child, and you did not get, a pat on the shoulder, or you didn't get approval and validation from parents, for example. And when you grow up, you might still have that inner child within you that is seeking approval from elderly people because you didn't get it as a child. So if you maybe did not get that approval as a child when you look back on your childhood, you should not start seeking validation in your adulthood, because the decisions and the things that you do then are much more complex than what you have done in your childhood, okay? So you cannot just be seeking validation in your adulthood because you didn't get it in your childhood, because it can lead to problems and essentially you not being happy with the decisions that you have made. For example, if you want to become a doctor because your mom and dad think that's a really great career, but you are not really interested in medicine, you just want to make them proud, don't do that. Because if you do that, you are not going to be happy in that career. And you're not going to be fulfilling your purpose if you try to do something just because you want to make someone else proud. Parents should be proud of you, whether you are studying marketing or whether you're studying medicine. They should be just as proud as you, because you are doing something with your life that you want to do. Tip number 3 is don't give so much of your power away. You have to understand that needing other people's approval will not bring you long-term happiness. If you start seeking other people's approval, and if you start basing your decisions on the opinions of other people, there's going to be no end to it. People are going to feel like they're very, very inclined and very able to give their opinion about your life or about things you do in your life as if it's totally okay, even if the opinion has not been asked, right? People are going to give you opinions all the time anyway. But if you are going to be paying so much attention to those opinions and not actually relying on your own needs and your own wants, it's never going to end, and you're not going to be happy with the results that you create for yourself. Tip number 4, or the 4th thing that you really do have to think about, is lack of approval. Like, ask yourself, why are you insecure about your own capability of making decisions? It is most likely because of the lack of confidence. And why are you insecure about making decisions? Why do you doubt yourself so much? Because if you constantly have to ask other people's opinion about your life and the choices that you make, you are insecure. You are not confident, and you doubt your own decision-making skills. You have to work on your decision-making skills. You have to start making decisions based off of research, for example, or your own gut feeling, and actually make those decisions and not always ask, especially if you see that you are able to be, completely molded by those decisions. Some people who ask for opinions, they will still go in a certain direction. And some people will end up being completely confused because you're getting so many opinions from every direction. So you have to understand if the opinions that you are getting, how much they influence the decision-making skills that you have, and how much they influence the decisions that you make. And if you are doubting yourself, and if you need approval, it is because of lack of confidence in this field. So you have to work in this area. You have to start making decisions by yourself on a daily basis and not ask other people's opinions so often. That is how you're going to build confidence in that field. And you don't always need approval. You have to understand that it's okay for someone not to like the decision that you have made. It's okay for someone to think that the dress that you picked out is not nice. It's okay. It's okay for someone to think that a career in a certain field does not make sense right now. It's okay for them to think that. But if you have a different opinion on that, that is perfectly valid, right? And you can prove them wrong. So you do not need other people's approval in these things, and they do not have to agree with you. They do not have to be on the same page as you. And really soaking that point in that I just made is really important, because if you find you need people's approval and you need them to be on the same page as you, etc., then you are a people pleaser. And that's a different topic, but then you have to ask yourself, why am I a people pleaser? Or why do I feel like I always need to please people with my behavior? My 5th tip is that the opinions of other people should not hold so much significance in your life and how you actually feel about yourself. So if someone does not have the same opinion as you, it should not make you feel like you're not smart enough to come up with that idea, or you should not start feeling like what are they thinking about me? Like maybe my question was stupid. They probably think that, you know, I can't think of such good ideas like them. If they say something negative about something that you asked, it should not influence the way that you feel about yourself. Please make sure to really be realistic and honest with yourself just how much other people influence the way you feel about yourself, right? If you are asking people for validation, if you seek a lot of validation, it already means that you need to work on your confidence, right? And it means that you do have some insecurities in that field. That's one thing. But if other people's opinions hold a lot of significance for you, it is really important to you, please make sure that that does not bring you down on a daily basis and that you are living in anxiety about what people think of you. How you feel about yourself is determined by you and should not be determined by other people, and they should not have that much power over your feelings. And you always have to bring yourself back into this reality, okay? As I said, if someone doesn't like something, if someone has a different opinion, if someone says, no, don't do that, that's stupid, whatever, you can still completely do whatever you want to do. And you have to be confident enough to be able to build your own opinions in certain fields. And you should not feel bad about yourself if someone has not validated you or what you are doing or what you have planned to do. And that is something you really need to work on and understand that you are already perfect as a whole as it is. You're great as who you are already now, and you know, build on that, right? Don't try to be like this child that is insecure and needs the validation of other people. Pull yourself together, be a grown-up as best as you can. It really needs to be said sometimes, and start making your own decisions in life. And there are people who are going to support you and people who are not going to support you. And that is the truth and the bottom line. External validation is only going to bring you into this never-ending circle. You're only going to seek more and more validation from more and more people, and they're going to have a lot of power over your life, and you're never going to be truly happy. That's why it's really important to get out of this spiral that I'm talking about. And you can only do that if you grow your own confidence level. And if you start understanding that seeking that validation is not going to bring you joy. Instead, bring yourself your own excitement and your own joy through the plans that you have and through the ideas that you have. And they do not always need to be validated. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel down below and click the bell button to be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. Also, if you like topics like this and topics on mindset in general, make sure you check out my podcast, which is called The Talks with Yeva Podcast. You can find that on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Also, make sure to check out my Instagram, which is Your Mind is Heaven. And if you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session with me to work on these topics and more in more depth, more personalized, obviously one-on-one, then make sure you check out my website, which is called yevaberezaita.com, and you can find that down below in the description section also, or you can simply reach out to me over Instagram and tell me that you're interested in working together on one-on-one. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you next time. And until then, take care and bye.